there's a huge initiative after 9/11 between NATO and Russia. There's a lot of money going into it, a partnership. Putin and Bush met and agreed that we must mitigate the responses of nuclear terrorism. The people studying terrorism are very clear that the terrorists have said that they intend to find radiological devices, they intend to build nuclear bombs, they have the capabilities, and we know that a dirty bomb in a big city is not only possible but likely. A dirty bomb would of course be different than a Chernobyl accident, but the issues are similar. With a radiological dispersing device, you'll be facing mostly low-level radiation. You'll be facing contaminated neighborhoods, and you'll be facing widespread fear in the public. All the things that you've been facing all these years. And we do know that the intention is there, the ability is there, and the materials are present. So if the health consequences are like what I hear when I come here, the risk is very high. I just want to show you about 10 slides of what it would look like if there was a dirty bomb in a big city. You can attack a big city in many different ways. It's drinking water, it's foods, the agriculture supporting it, the city itself. You can do it with a blast, you can dilute it, you can disperse liquids. You can hit them in the subways, this is Moscow. You can do it by aerial. Let's see. I'm going to skip that slide. Here's if you did it in Washington, D.C., dirty bomb, the impact, Long Island, in New York City. Here's pictures of how it would look. And then there was a huge argument in this group with the IAEA about what are the acceptable limits, and I hear this argument in this room today as well. That's a tough one. What are the acceptable limits of exposure? This is what people need to decide before there's a dirty bomb. We know there will be one. There will be one in New York, Washington, Moscow, who knows where. But the world needs to be ready to speak to the public and say, this is what we expect you can live with in a healthy way. And these are the cancers we expect. These are the stomach problems we expect. These are the psychiatric disorders we expect. But at what dose? And how long? So we know that really the most important things in this issue is good scientific studies, good answers, and there's a huge disagreement about who has the knowledge. And then there is huge issues of fear and psychology. If we look at the accident that happened in Guam, you probably know about this, where the kids managed to open up a radiological device and they played with the powder. They were so excited because it glowed in the dark and they painted it on their bodies. Those children died. But over 125,000 people went to the hospital, sure that they needed to be checked. In truth, only 260 people were contaminated, and most of them only on their clothes. But airline pilots refused to fly there, drivers refused to drive, and cars with license plates from that area were attacked. The tourist industry was shut down immediately. When the children died, people became very worried. And the people that had been radiated, some of them became suicidal in addition to sick. You know this story, they had social stigma if they had been contaminated. No one knew what to do. The hospital staff was extremely affected. You know this story as well. The medical team had to get up to speed with no knowledge, just like here. Let's look at friends and foes. The IAEA, did I have it right? Is that their name? I can't say it without spitting. say there's no health consequences to Chernobyl other than thyroid cancer. I got in a big argument with them about that. They admit that they're guilty not to have returned with their results. Let's make them come here. Let's invite them here to hear your studies. The Russians say there's no health consequences. We have a lot of money going into counterterrorism. I think you need to position your studies to say, not only are we looking at Chernobyl, we're preparing for a dirty bomb. We can tell you what to do. We can tell you what the health consequences will be. And we can tell you how to mitigate them. I think everyone agrees terrorism is a problem. Most of the world forgot about Chernobyl. I'm very sad to say that. But they know that radiological terrorism is likely. They know that psychology will be the major issues. They know that media and government responses need to be managed well, with knowledge. They know that there's huge disagreement on health problems. They know that they need to focus on psychology, media management, probably on mothers and children. And we know that epidemiological studies are not so difficult here. They're difficult for you when you're doing it with no resources. But if you position yourself correctly, you should be able to get the resources you need.
International Atomic Energy Agency in 1992 said that radiophobia concerning Chernobyl is incorrect term because there is a real dangerous, because of phobia from psychiatric point of view, it is a type of absence of danger.
Yeah, I was listening to radiophobia and I asked them, do you understand what an insulting thing this is to say? When you are afraid of something real, okay, you can't see it, but you're afraid of something real. That's not a phobia.
It's stress.
Yes, and stress will have real effects in your body.
If RDD will explore in the middle of the big city, one of the most problem will be to distinguish whether stress-related reactions, psychiatry, and whether it's just a radiological reaction. What's about strategical policy of NATO concerning studies or elaboration of devices, of technologies to rapidly distinguish stress-related and radiation-induced effects?
Okay, there you have a wonderful question. Why don't you propose this question to the Scientific Committee of NATO, ask for 50,000 euros, hold a meeting here, and invite the world's best scientists to answer this question.